Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play series. This is episode 13. My name is Hocus Pocus, and today, that's right guys, today we are going to be breaking ground on a very important project in this world, something that will provide lots of riches, lots of goods, and lots of useful materials for us that will definitely make our lives easier in the long run. So it's going to be a lot of work, but that's what you have to do in life. Put the work in and reap the rewards afterwards. So as I say, there is going to be a massive project that we're starting on today. But before we do get going with that, and that is what we're going to be spending most of the episode on, there are a few things I need to cover. There's a few changes that I've made off camera that you guys need to see. So let's hop right into those. And quick side note before we hop into the first change, you guys already know, what to do. Like the video right now, leave me a comment down below. And of course, if this is your first time on the Hocus Pocus channel, and you enjoy what you see today, then please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. We're almost at 2K. So, yeah, another milestone for us. Anyway, that is besides the point because I told you guys that we've got a couple of changes. And the first one is we've got ourselves the final tool of our collection. That's right, it's the shovel. And now, you can see the name there. I've got the letter A and then the spade sign from a deck of cards. So I was going to call this shovel the Ace of Spades. You know, it's quite smart. I thought of it myself, guys. I definitely did think of it myself. But then the more I considered it, the more I realized that there's probably a bunch of people out there that already have used that name. So I figured that instead of going for the full Ace of Spades, we just call it A and a spade sign as you would see it on the card itself. So somewhat original, I hope. Somewhat original. But I don't know. There's probably definitely people out there that have already thought of this before me. And now that I've confirmed to you guys how unoriginal I am, the next change was one that was premeditated at the end of last episode. So I mentioned that I was going to install a... Always interrupted. But as I was saying, I mentioned I was going to install a pressure plate, which this slime has kindly demonstrated for me, to trigger the Lost Woods theme that we have that runs around the storage room. I think it works a lot better than the tripwire. Firstly, because it's easier to conceal, and I will show you guys that in just a moment once. Of course. Can you stop standing on the pressure plate, please? No. All right. Okay. All right. It might be playing a few times in the background. You guys are going to have to just ignore it for the time being. But as I say, it's easier to conceal. You know, it blends in very well. It's, you know, if you haven't played my world before, you might not even notice it, right? It blends in very well. Also, it gives you the option to run around the outside so you don't have to trigger it, which is a secondary solution to the whole manual shutdown thing, which I'll probably still implement because if we implement that, it stops us having to consciously remember to run to the left or right or to jump the pressure plate every time we come through here. So I think I'm going to reinstate that switch at some point, but the wiring pretty much runs underneath the pressure plate, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it. No, you won't. But it comes up through here and then runs into the back of the system as it once did before. So yeah, works well. Works pretty well in my opinion. Anyway guys, that is it for the changes between episodes. So before we get on with today's big project that we're breaking the ground on, and I hope you guys are excited. I know I've left you hanging so far, but I'm going to let you know what it is in just a second. We're going to head over to the zombie farm and repair some of our tools because I think our Wizardwick pick, Wizardwick V2 that is yeah, it's definitely looking worse for wear. So I'm going to repair these guys as much as I possibly can stand because this thing is quite slow. So I'll stay here for a while, get them repaired. And then the big announcement, guys. We are going to begin work on a mob farm. More explanation to that will come in just a moment. So our gear isn't perfect. It's not perfect, but it'll be good enough for what we need to do with it today. And I figured that this would be the perfect opportunity for us to come down to the haste mine and actually use some of the resources. So we're going to fill up some of the shulker boxes here. And I believe they accept, what, one chest's worth of items. So that should fill that box. Yep. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stacks of andesite. That should line the top row of the box. Yep, perfect. And then we're going to take some more stone. So we'll probably just fill up the rest of the shulker box with stone there. And that'll look something like this. Very good. And as well as the 2 stone shulker boxes, we've also got this shulker box here, which is a few more of the practical items. Now, I think we're going to need some more glass, so I'll make sure we take care of that and stain it gray in the meantime as well. But I think this should be enough to give us a good start. Now, I said I was going to give you guys some more details about what's going on here. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to combine 2 different designs, or at least some aspects of one design and some aspects of another. So there are 2 really good, really solid mob farm designs on YouTube. One by Gnembon, one by ilmango. They both follow a similar concept, except there's just a difference in how they both structure their killing mechanism. So I really like the Gnembon killing mechanism. I really like the Gnembon killing mechanism, but I also like how ilmango filters the mobs off of his platform. So what I'm going to try to do is use the Gnembon killing mechanism and use the filtering from the ilmango design in order to create a sort of hybrid system that will hopefully benefit us in the long run and fit the needs that we are sort of looking for when building this thing. With tools in hand and materials in shulker box, I think it's time to find an appropriate place to build this thing. So we need a large, open, preferably flat area. And you guys, I really don't know what could be more perfect for that, or something that could fulfill those needs more perfectly. Is that how you say that? Is perfectly a word? I don't know. Let's pretend it is. What could perform as well as the ocean, right? It's large, it's vast, it's open, it is most certainly flat, and there is a limited range of spawning just because there's a bunch of water there. So I figured what we'd do is we'd swim out, or boat out in this case, to the middle somewhere where we have one of these. Wait, do we want to go this far? In fact, maybe we won't go this far. I was going to go out to where the water is a little bit more shallow so that it wouldn't take us as long to build up. But I think that might be a mistake. I don't want to be too far away from the base. So maybe this would be a better location. We did it somewhere out here. So we're pretty far away from land. I would say we're roughly in the middle of all this land, right? We're a pretty good distance away from it all. We've got all of this open area to work in. So there is no need to worry about colliding with other builds or having to destroy stuff to build it. And I've just realized that our biggest mistake is bringing shulker boxes. So we might have to take these shulker boxes down to the surface real quick. And maybe grab us some stone and figure out where the boat is. So it's going to be right here. I'm going to try and line this up where the boat is. So the boat is right there. Let's go directly down from the boat. And then just start building a column up. So, of course, we land in between 2 blocks. So I'm going to pick this one right here. And then we'll just go all the way. Oh, Lord, I'm being chased. He's spiraling. They're spiraling out of control. Stay away. I kind of want that Nautilus shell. Kind of want that. Gimme. Why do we always have to get interrupted? It was a slime first thing in the video. Now it's these guys just messing us around, trying to ruin our day. Anyway, we're going to build a column up to the surface of the water here. Now that we have our column in place and we've surfaced and broke the water, we can just create ourselves a small little platform that we can operate from. So eventually this platform will... Come on, boat. Move it or lose it. What's he doing out here? Okay. So eventually, as I say, this platform will be converted into our killing area. And that's probably something we might want to work on figuring out right away. Just because once we build all of the layers above us, we will then start to have mobs spawning, mobs dropping down here. And we don't want them landing in the water because we want to be able to work in this location. So let's figure out the logistics of killing them first of all and get that groundwork laid out. Okay, guys, so we're going to be looking for about 50 hoppers here to get us started. So this should be precisely enough wood for that to happen. 25 chests. Did I say 50 hoppers? I meant 25 hoppers. I'm sorry. We need to make a 5x5 out of the hoppers. That's going to be something like this. And the final one. Perfecto. Okay, let's just organize the inventory slightly. And then we're going to be placing these down in the center here. So the middle 9, I'm going to just have as independent hoppers if I can. And what I mean by independent is just that they're going to be facing towards the ground. And these are going to be our main... Come on, give me a jump, Hocus. Jump. There we go. These are going to be the main transport for our items. So we'll have a 3x3 in the middle of those. And with the independent hoppers in place, we're going to lay the outer edge down. So I'm just going to have the 3 on each side facing in towards their central counterparts. Let's get on top of the crafting bench. 1, 2, 3, like so. And then same again on this side. And this is the Gnembon part of the build. So Gnembon's killing mechanism is what we're using here. And then on the outer corners, I'll just have them facing towards the center like so. So eventually, every mob that drops down here, their items should collect in these these 9 central hoppers. And if we go beneath the surface, I said they were independent, and I kind of explained myself slightly, but I'll try and explain again what I mean by that. So instead of attaching to another hopper, they're just going to face straight down. And yeah, this is going to be very resource intensive. I just realized that a second ago when I was figuring this out, but we're going to have the items come right down. They're going to go right down to the bottom of the ocean there. And then I guess somewhere beneath the ocean, we'll have a collection room for all of this stuff that we can eventually link up to our base. But we're going to be using a bunch of hoppers to get the items down there, unless we can figure out a separate way to do so. But I don't think there's a better way to transport items down like that. We'll see, though. We'll see. We'll see what we can figure out. And now that we've got the collection system in place, or the beginnings of it anyway, we need to go up by 30 blocks. So funnily enough, in Gnembon's video, he actually begins on Y63 as well and goes all the way up to Y93. And that's where we'll begin the next step of the build. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, that should be good enough. And then we'll replicate the 5x5 that we've got down below, just to mirror the hoppers. Oh, guys. I'm stuck in a bit of a dilemma now because I've just had another idea about something that we could do that would probably use a similar number of hoppers, but maybe make things more creative in the long run. I think so. I might try going for it. Anyway, we are in desperate need of smooth slabs, which, darn it, I forgot the recipe changed. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Let me go smelt up some smooth stone. Mini crisis averted. We have ourselves some smooth stone, which we can then convert into smooth stone slabs. Now, I honestly have no idea how I forgot that that was the new recipe, but there you go. My memory is, it's not the greatest. I'll admit that. Okay, so let's convert these down into slab form. We're going to need quite a fair few of these. And we're also going to convert the andesite into polished, like so. And we're going to be using a border method for the build here. Now, I think, you know that I mentioned that we were going to do something else and mix it up. I'm going to go ahead and just do all of that off camera in a second. I think I'm going to go for it because the more I think about it, the more I like the sound of that idea. So instead of doing what I was about to do up here, once we pillar back up there, that is. Nice and slowly, Hocus. This is super fun content. You guys are going to love this part. I know you're going to love it. All right, we're back. So from the middle, we need to go out 8 blocks. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 8th block, instead of going with a slab, we're going to have ourselves a piece of polished andesite like so. And we can do this on all 4 sides. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That leaves us with something like this. And now you kind of, I don't really know how to explain this. You kind of have to make up the diagonals. So I guess you go in a diagonal line from one side to the other, something like this. And then let me think about this. Does this need to be converted to andesite? I can't quite remember how that works. But I know for sure that you need to go across in a diagonal pattern and then fill in the inside, and that will be your spawning platform setup. So it was in fact to be converted. The edges here are where the platform ends. So I'm gonna just make the platforms out of the stone slabs, but then have a border which is made out of andesite. I think that looks good, and I used that last time I built a farm of a similar type in my old LP world, and it turned out okay. It gives that extra little bit of depth because of course you have the slabs and the full blocks, but it also allows the mobs to spawn because the slabs are on the top side of the block rather than the bottom side. So I'm going to quickly collect up all of the residue left over from building that thing, because we can definitely use these slabs elsewhere in the farm. And we're going to need about 20 of those platforms, I believe it is 20 platforms in total. And then once we've got those in place, we can start building the mechanism that flushes the mobs down. But I think I'm going to do the platforms first and then do the mechanism afterwards. That might make our life a little bit easier. I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like it will in my head. So just trust me, guys. Just trust me. Well, guys, it's that time again to go restock our supplies. We've ran out of those slabs, and Oh, I wish I just didn't have to smelt this stuff. It takes too much time and I just want to get on with the work. But you can see over the top of my head there, we're about halfway to completion in terms of the platforms. I think we got 9 right now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we've got 9 platforms so far. So we are around halfway towards our goal of 20. And it's going good, guys. It's going good. It's a bit of a grind, you know, repeating the same design over and over again. It's not the most fun work, but at the end of the day, once we finish it up, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And here's a glitch in pre-release 2. If you get out of a boat too fast, you just lose your hands. Yep, just lost my hands. Can't do anything with them. Can't switch. Can't do anything. So to fix that, if you guys ever experience the same thing, just save and quit. Give it a second to do what it needs to do. Reload the world. And you're good to go. Excuse my language, but oh hecking yes. Oh yes, 20 platforms in the sky, and we're good. We're good to go in that aspect of the build. So next steps, which I've sort of outlined. First of all, we need to implement the flooding mechanism, which pushes the mobs off of the edge of the platforms here. So that will be a straight line of redstone mechanics that runs through that central hole there that you can see at the bottom of this platform. And then following that, I think then we will go ahead and change our collection system, because we're no longer going to have mobs falling in the middle. So these hoppers are useless. The mobs are actually going to be falling in a ring that extends around the outside of these pillars that kind of jet out from the middle here. So these run 8 blocks from the center, just as the platforms do. So I'm probably going to have a row of 3 hoppers that extends from this point outwards that will catch any mobs that fall down to their death, which is what I'm hoping they do. I hope they fall to their death. If not, then we've designed the farm incorrectly, but I'm confident that this will do the trick. So let me take another look at that ilmango video, make sure I know what I'm doing. I've also bought a bed as well, because I don't want any phantoms to spawn. I haven't been sleeping many nights away, so I think it'll be safer to do something like that with the bed. But let's get back up there. Let's figure out what we're going to do. I should also grab everything we need from here. So I think it's going to be redstone, observers, sticky pistons. We need our trapdoors, which I'm going to make out of spruce logs. Our glass. Here, let's also make sure that we're going to have enough glass. We can do that by crafting just a little bit more up. Okay, that should do the trick. And then was there anything else that we need? I think that's about it. We do need to break some of this down. I know that for sure, but we need it in block form also. And yeah, let's get right to it. Well, there are only 3 things that are certain in life, and those things are death, taxes, and the fact that Hocus will definitely forget at least one block type when trying to do a large build like this. And that block type was, funnily enough, note blocks, which is kind of strange since we used them recently for the very first time. But it's neither here nor there. We've got them now. So the way this is going to work is, first of all, I'm going to make sure that we've got an infinite spring of water, because I don't want to keep jumping down if we can help it. So we'll just do something like this. Not like that. Something like this will be much more beneficial. Okay, so we've got our 2 water buckets and we should be good to go. So glass in the 4 corners in the middle, and then in the center we just need a block. That can be any type of block for now, but we will change that up in just a second most likely. And then on the outsides here we need some trapdoors, and we're going to just stand them up like so. Okay, very good. All right, and then on the inside, again, it will be another block type like so. And from here, it is a redstone, piece of redstone, I believe. And I'm going to right-click it. New feature. I'm going to right-click it to make it into a dot. I believe that's what it needs to be. And then around the outside here, we can have glass. But before we put the glass in fact, we can go ahead and waterlog these trapdoors. So every single one of them needs to have water behind it. And then once they're opened up, of course, the water can flow. So it'll be something like that. And then we'll refill our bucket. Okay, and then we can cap it off. I think is the right thing to do. Yeah, looks good so far. Let me double check though. Sweet. So just confirm that this was correct, and it was. So I went ahead and replaced the middle blocks with some more polished andesite, just so that we've got them in there. I don't want to have to dig back in right at the end to change it. That would be a bit of a nuisance. So next step is redstone block above that one, like so. And then we can travel up to the next layer. And up here, what we want to do is have a piston that is, I think, 2 blocks above this. So I think it needs to be on this spot here. Right, that is gonna be most certainly a difficult one to do. Let's see. So, oh, I'm triggering everything. It's gonna be, is it gonna be there? I think it's gonna be there. Let's see. I'm just gonna, oh, okay, something's happening. All right, let's not use that block. Let's use that block instead. Okay, dig ourselves out of here. And don't worry, guys, I'm not going to do all of this falling around on camera because that might be a little bit tedious for us. And then back in there, we actually need to have ourselves a redstone block. And that looks good to me. So then on top of the piston, it'll be a note block like so, which is, again, exactly what is required. Then on top of the note block, we switch back to the polished andesite and a piece of redstone dust like so. And then rinse and repeat. So we're back to the start of the process. Oops. Where we have ourselves a redstone block. Above that, we'll have the piston, so on and so forth. So now that we have got the redstone mechanism laid out, that means that we need to just rebuild this entire trapdoor mechanism as well on each floor. So again, we'll go like this, and then we'll have the trapdoors in place in the center. Like so. Not there, Hocus. Wrong place. Let's get rid of that one. And then we can fill these in with water. And you guys already get the point of this. And then, of course, we just seal it in with the glass. So let me get the mechanism in place. And guys, let me just tell you, we're pretty close to having this thing functional. I'm excited. I am very excited. We've got each and every platform configured with the water, the trapdoors, the redstone, the pistons, the no blocks, every single thing required for this farm to work and be activated correctly. And I'm just going to climb all the way to the top so we can take a leap of faith. Assassin's Creed style, baby. All right, are we almost there? Okay, here we go. So there are two final steps here. We need to put a roof on this thing to darken it up so that mobs can spawn and to also allow us to activate it from the top. But before we do that, and here we go. Here we go, guys. The big moment. Woohoo! Uh-oh. There we go. We're good. Okay, but before we do that, as I was saying, I do in fact want to make sure that we've got some sort of killing area for these guys because I don't want to start this farm and have them just dropping into the water. That might be a bit of a nuisance for us. So what we're going to do is, let's not start over there. Let's start over here. So this should be the 8th block out. So this is the center. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go out 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do that on each side and just try and match up where approximately the mobs are going to fall. And then they should land on these blocks and I hope die. But I guess you can never be too certain of that. And then this is going to be kind of how our killing mechanism works for now. Eventually we'll switch out for hoppers and stuff. But I haven't really mentioned this yet, guys. But I do have big plans to have some sort of like expanded base system that comes out to this area. So I'm thinking that eventually we'll actually like to have maybe more than one of these mob farms right here, maybe attach 4 or so together and build some sort of base system around it just so that we can have a storage system, somewhere to craft, you know, that kind of thing, the kind of thing you generally do when you build big projects like this. So what I'm thinking is maybe we have 4 of these each next to each other out here. Maybe even 5 if I can figure out the logistics of that. And we can control them all from a central location. And as I say, just build some sort of base out here so that when we're out here using the farm, we can collect up the resources and utilize them in the way that we need to. But I built this wrong somehow. This needs to be a diagonal, I think, but it isn't. So something's wrong here, I think. Is that right? Why isn't this matching up? Okay, let me finish this up off camera because this is probably going to be a bit tedious again for you guys. And then we'll get that roof built and we should be done for today's episode. Okay then, guys, we skipped forward quite a bit here. And we've got the roof in place as well as where the mobs are going to die. So I've figured out that little diamond shape down there. So now all that's left to do is to build the on-off switch. So to do that, we'll place another note block. On top of the note block, we'll have another andesite block and then a piece of redstone atop that. And what I'm going to do is craft myself a lever. This is going to be the switch that configures the on-off state. I'm going to turn it on for now. Or lock it. I really have no idea. But I'm going to pull that. And hopefully that'll start flushing out some of the torches down below. Okay, wait, maybe not. Actually, let's just flick it on and off like that. That should do the trick. Okay, so from here, we want to make an ether hopper clock. So we'll do something like this. Hoppers facing into each other, like so. And then either side of that, we need a comparator. So we'll have one there and one here. All right, let's hear that nice water flow. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. All right, let's do something like that. And then this will go into another block, like so. Redstone atop that one as well. And then from here, we want to have a couple of sticky pistons. So one facing in this way and one facing in from that side. And then, oh, darn it. We also need a redstone block. Give me just a second. And the redstone block can fit snugly in there like so. And then we need 28 items in the hopper. So let's make sure we've got that in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be 28. There we go. And then now when we unflip this lever, it will switch back and forth, causing the water to flow on different levels each time. So it's, the way it works, let me try and explain this. The way it works is that every other level has water on it. And whenever this clock switches backwards or forwards, it will switch the levels that have water. So it kind of goes back and forth either way. All right, so from here, we've got one final thing to do just to improve the quality of outcome of this farm. So we can go ahead and we're gonna need to jump up here somehow. Maybe we'll just place a block there for now. And what we need to do is go up 36 blocks from the top of this redstone. So that'll be, this one is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. And now that we're up at the 36th block, we want to come up by one more. And this is going to be the area in which we AFK to make this farm as efficient as possible. So I'm just going to create something really small. So we'll just do something like this. It's just going to be a little box to stand in. That's all. Nothing too significant. And now that we are, well, not now, but since I've created it this way as well, we're going to need to fly up here. But that shouldn't be any issue because this farm will, of course, provide a bunch of gunpowder for us, which means that we will be able to craft a good amount of rockets so that we don't need to worry anymore about conserving them. And then once more, we'll just fill in the bottom there. And then when I get chance, I'll place a little trapdoor at the top that we can close so that the phantoms can't get us. And we should be good up there. So that's pretty much it, right, guys? There isn't anything else we need to do apart from take down the scaffolding there. So I'm going to do that. And then we will give this thing a test, right? We'll give it a test. In fact, we can give it a test right now because once I take that scaffolding down, the only way back up here is to fly. So let's flip the lever. Expect some lag. I'm sure there'll be a little bit at least. Okay. And why is this not moving? Oh, here, let's switch these across. We need to start them on this side. I think that should do the trick. Just wait for it to happen. Wait for it to happen. No, nothing. Maybe we need to... Oh yeah, we need to do that instead. Whoops, my mistake. Fixing things on the fly here. Okay, so this time once they transfer across, we should see a switch, or there already has been one, I guess. And then that will toggle the water to fall on the other side, on the other platform. So you can see mobs are falling down to their death. Very good. Okay, and then I guess since we've had a few rotations, let's head down there, see what kind of loot we're getting. Oh yeah, it's raining mobs, baby. It's raining mobs. All right, so we've got a bit of gunpowder here. Oh wow, look at this. Already we've got a bunch of good stuff. Uh-oh, there's a trident guy. Here they come. All right. It looks like they can avoid the platform, so we might have to make it a little bit bigger. But so far, let me just get out of here, just in case any more creepers fall. I don't want them to explode my stuff. Oh, we're still getting more loot as well, which is great. Great to see. Okay, we're in the boat. Let's just clear the area slightly. And... all right, already we're getting good amounts of items. This is great. Really great. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for today, so let's wrap up this episode. All right then, guys, welcome back to episode 13 for the last time today. Once again, as I always say, I hope you guys had fun with this one. I had a bunch of fun, and you know what? More than the fun I had, we've now got convenience, because all these mob drops are going to go towards crafting everything that we need for our world to flourish. And of course, having the gunpowder is also very useful. TNT is going to be great, as well as rockets. And as I say, we've got big plans for this area, so don't expect things to end here for this this ocean kind of thing we got going on. As I say, we're going to expand it and maybe have up to even 5 if I can figure out the logistics of these farms in total, and we can run them all at the same time, get a bunch of drops from it, and it's going to be awesome. So stick around, guys. And that leads me into my next part, which is drop a like if you enjoyed today's episode. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure you leave a comment as well. I love responding to them. So if you guys have anything to say, even if it's just hello, put it down below, and I'll be of course down there responding to you. And finally, if this is your first time, my voice is given away. It's like, I'm sorry. If this is your first time on the Hocus Pocus channel, then please be sure to consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that, and I'd love to have you here. That will allow you to stay tuned to this series and any other videos that we decide to post to the channel. So guys, with that in mind, take care, have a great day. Oh, I can't do the face thing today. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.